Yeah, here we are. It's kind of good that Michael's running a little late. Maybe we could talk about what's going on with mines and Uniswap and everything like that. What's going on, Corey? What do you think about everything going on right now with mines and this
I
new?
mean, I think
What are you gonna say?
I think it's really cool because it you can kind of see the incentives have been kind of realigned in different ways where it's giving the tokens more value right now. That was kind of one major thing. Like now that you can actually like easily trade it for Ethereum and you can, go back and forth easily, plus also incentivizing like, holding and adding liquidity. It's definitely looking, I think it's like probably at its highest that it's been right now, and that's good for content creators when they come. Depending, I don't know, the rewards. It's still young. We got to kind of see how this goes and stuff like that. But it looks like it's cool.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting potential to see what happens in that space. I was talking to Censorship Sucks about it, and you know, I was able to put up just a small little liquidity pool before everything happened, and where the gas fees wasn't crazy right now.
Mm.
But so I got it in there a little bit, and it's been interesting to see it there, and like what that means for later. Like for me, and Imaginarium for like creative projects. Like you could tie a whole channel, a whole liquidity pool to a certain project. Like for instance, like a vapor test or whatever Curry Hobo's podcast or whatever it is, right? And then say you do it for a year or two, or you do a documentary and you do all this work for a year or two, and then it's tied to a liquidity pool, and then at the end of it, you have a couple $1,000 and you split it with everybody who does work with it, and then you have
Yeah, and
something
at the
real.
same time too, your channel gets the boost from it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think what they did is really cool so far. Like, it's looking like it's actually going to work out for, creators and rewards. It's just a matter of getting that gas fee down. So hopefully we'll, you know, put into that. Because once that gas fee goes down, I know I'm going to put into the liquidity. Yeah, I mean, it's worth it at that point.
Yeah, it's tricky. There's multiple aspects that the future trajectory of Ethereum and Uniswap looks like it's going to get the gas. I don't know when the changes are going to be though, but like, Ethereum has like a protocol upgrade, which is going to kind of standardize the gas fees. That's probably the soonest thing coming. But also, the move to proof of stake probably would have positive benefits. And also at the same time, um, the other thing is going to be Uniswap. Apparently, their next version that they're coming out with, they're utilizing this thing called optimistic rollups. The rumor is anyway that should hopefully make sure like it'll like every transaction on it can be like combined into like a bigger one and make less bloat on chain, which will lower the gas fees. That's the idea that I'm hearing though.
I got you. I got you. Yeah. Well, that'd be nice. But yeah, that's the one thing right now that I think everybody's kind of like, I don't know about all that. It's just the gas fee. But yeah, everything else looks good. Like, all the tokens, the swap, everything in the, it's looking like something that's worth putting your time and energy to. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely. It's all so interesting what's happening right now. And there were supposed to be some other things rolling out. Does anybody know? Like, and I heard something in the blog. It was like some weird advertisement of Uniswap or something. Do you know anything about that, Corey?
Wait, advertisement for mines?
Yeah. No, they had a blog and about like things that were yeah.
I read that. Yeah, it's So Mason, chill, bro. He just jumped off the couch.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, so if you put liquidity into the mines thing, I guess what's going to happen is the people that have the higher percentage liquidity are going to show in inside the newsfeed side boost. You know where your side boosts go?
Oh,
Oh, yeah. So like right now, if you go to your newsfeed, you'll see "Want to be promoted here," and it's like Sammy Stark is there. So he has some liquidity, but I mean, he doesn't even have a channel right now, which is interesting. So I guess how much
Yeah.
liquidity is put into the token. So it's it's gonna be interesting how all this goes down and everything. Because I mean, have you gone into it on Minds? I mean, I know you did it before. It was really
Yeah, I tried it yesterday, and the gas fees were ridiculous. So I was like, forget that.
Yeah. When it first launched, like I went and I was like, oh yeah, I'll put something in there, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm not putting it in with those gas fees right now.
Yeah, I was just trying to, just transfer a little bit, and then I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, if you're paying the gas fees, you want to transfer a lot at once, so it's less of a percentage of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you might as well rack up some tokens and everything. Like it just sucks because I mean it doesn't suck because I'll be putting this out along with the last episode. So they'll get some good catches for some tokens, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I took a break to zero out to see the earnings difference.
Yeah, since the 16th, the earnings for your token thing like zero out, and there's like a new like multiplying system, I believe. Yeah.
So that was interesting too. So yeah, everything. But,
yeah, it's kind of cool that they have like a summary of like the whole point system of like what are you getting your points for.
Oh yeah. The transaction, like the breakdowns and liquidity for the tokens and all that is just transaction count. See, everything's up. When I first launched, like everything was so far down, and now everything's starting to go up. It was crazy. Like I was looking, I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." But now everything's starting to go up a little bit. So that's good.
Yeah.
As soon as that gas fee goes down, I'm definitely gonna put some liquidity in.
Yeah, it'll be easier for us to do our pulls and stuff like that. Hey, Meg, what's up? I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a kiddie child issue going on, so I was a bit late getting in, but it's sorted now. She's set up in her room. She had a little bit of a scary, like funny dream type scenario. So I've just said, right, put your lamp on and read your book, and she's all right now. She's fine. So I can chill. How are you guys?
Good. Did you check out the new room for the VR?
I haven't yet. I will check it out. I haven't had a look. I'll go and have a look. I've been busy doing a few things, but I've only just sort of like in the last week been feeling okay. I had like a horrendous accident. I was eating a chop and I bit into it and cracked one of my teeth, and it was like the nerve was exposed, and it turned out I had like an abscess and stuff like that. So I was like really ill, but because of COVID, I couldn't get to see a dentist. It was a nightmare trying to get in to see someone, but eventually I was all right. I got it sorted, got some drugs and stuff. So I'm a bit behind, to be honest. I've just started getting back into it, getting my head back into everything and catching up.
Oh, okay. Well, I had a crazy week too. I'm behind on everything. And it's just like, everything online. So I had a busy work week, but it's good because everything's picking up like it was before COVID now. So I'm starting to get busy.
Cool. Cool. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's weird too. Like just this past, I had a weird weekend and kind of busy as well. And then like, I always find that funny. This like ebb and flow that seems to happen. Especially
it's
with me
always
and
been
Meg,
this
like
way, hasn't it? Always.
there's always like anytime like something weird happens to her, like there's something weird happening in my orbit as well.
Yeah,
Like
it's like
personally.
we're like tuned in to each other. It's really weird. It's always been like that, sort of since the early days. Like if something weird's going on in my world, there's some weird stuff going on in your world. It's like I just think it's just everybody's lives, isn't it? It's it's never the
Yeah.
same for more than 2 minutes. It's like a roller coaster, like
Well,
constantly
Meg,
changing.
we all kind of picked a good time to use Minds and see what's going on here on Minds, because there's a whole new there's a new um, token reward system. Like it's evaluated differently, and actually you get more,
Oh
generally
wow.
speaking. Um, and then there's other incentives too to do other things as far as moving stuff on chain and then putting up liquidity pools on the Uniswap. But right now it's like crazy because to do any transactions, it's kind of high Ethereum gas fees. But hopefully in the near future that gets a little bit more sorted out, and
Yeah.
then we could have more interesting fun. And we have Corey here, Meg. I didn't know.
Yeah, hi Corey. I saw. Yeah, that's
Hey,
great
how's it
because
going?
yeah, cool. I'm kind of thinking of it like you know, using the analogy of building a house. It's like once we get all the structure in place and people can understand. I mean, I hold my hands up. I'm not very good when it comes to cryptocurrency or understanding ETH or any of that stuff and the Uniswap. They're just words to me really at the moment. I need to sort of put it into practice, but like everything, you have to just do things. It's like you just have to test things out, and then that's how you learn. It's kind of the only way. You can have so much theory, and then you need to put it into practice, even if you don't understand the theory, if that makes sense.
Definitely. All this stuff, it was confusing to me when I got into it in the beginning too. It just takes the
Yeah,
practice.
Yeah, I mean,
and
I think
like
anybody that's first started it was confused. I'm like, what are you talking about?
yeah. The thing is, it's like people coming onto the platform, coming onto Minds and finding the creators and the fun part of Minds, as opposed to all the endless political stuff. If we can sort of whet people's appetites that way, if they can get to find those people, and then they can learn the other stuff. Once people learn the other stuff, you can just play and have fun. You don't have to worry about it because you don't have to think about it so much. That's the key. Because I've got quite a lot of people coming on here and they immediately just get stressed because they don't understand it, and I'm sort of saying to them, look, don't be stressed, just have fun, just play around with it. We're all experimenters, we're all creators. You might not be a programmer, you might not be super savvy at the tech side, but that's what people get all scared of. They think they've got to be a programmer or a hacker or something when they come on here, and I keep saying no, it's not like that at all.
Oh yeah, definitely not. I mean, I remember when it was like super and alpha beta, and definitely felt that way. But now
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely a lot more user friendly now.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But I think, well, see, there's several different things like early on that we were cultivating, whether it is tip culture or like evaluating what's the real value of like content and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And going to what you were saying, I think in my own mind, looking forward, and hopefully this ecosystem levels out and sustains itself. But we don't have to work. Look, once we learn how to do that, I think for each project, you set up a liquidity pool and you kind of like save it, and then but we all have like an agreement within doing whatever project it is, and you're able to work with each other on these long-term projects for a year or two, and at the end of that year or two, you have a couple of $1,000 that you could that actually you could divvy up between you, and then you're not worried about making trades every day or whatever. You're just worried about doing your content and making good stuff and putting it out there, and maybe even hopefully too, like I don't think Minds has to grow to a crazy level for this to be sustainable. Like if you have enough interactions within your group and your team, so like I could even see it as like when we're producing the Minds Underground documentary, and it takes a year or two, but the whole time we're producing content, like whether it's behind the scenes kind of stuff or like me doing little video edits or whatever it is that we're doing at that time. And so we're accumulating content all the time, and then we're growing our pool, and then we keep on doing this, right? And so just that vehicle of on the front end, creating a documentary and engaging with other creators that are both simultaneously adding content to it, or just people that are within your own group that are interacting with it on just more of a creative level than more of a fan level. And I think if you have a strong enough community that like just in that process could yield a good amount of capital in a sense, so that you could really produce this thing. Like what I'm saying is like maybe not quite a year from now, in a year and some months, maybe it's realistic that I go up to Canada and visit Kevin and Curry Hobo, and then anybody else that wants to go, and then we really kind of use Kevin's studio, and then we do the beginning of this project, and we kind of tell what basically for everybody who doesn't know what the Minds Underground is. The Minds Underground is basically my story of what Minds is, and it's about the creative underground that like kind of persisted throughout this whole time, and then it goes in this ebb and flows. But talking to the early creators, and then up until like I've seen every like kind of different phase of the groups of creators that ebb and flow through Minds. And hopefully too, it's always been kind of like this dream of mine of like, and actually it was an actual dream of Meg that we had this Minds bus, and we're like traveling to different people's different areas where Minds users are at, and then like kind of have like this spontaneous pop-up creative studio, and then we create something in that moment, whether we probably like visit someone for like a weekend, or if it's like, well, Kevin would probably be more a month, and Curry would be there, and so we could do something really cool for the documentary. And I would think, just in my own head, I would create like the beginning and ending, like intro and outros to like just because I have Curry and he's pretty good with the visuals. But you know what I mean? Like, but we could think bigger and longer, and I think this is a really interesting tool to invest this. It's funny because of token currency and this kind of velocity of ideas and building an ecosystem based off of our creativity, our ideas, and our like, can we make something that could sustain that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think with the the new token and everything, I think that hopefully once you're able to put liquidity in there and you can start earning from it, by swapping it out for ETH and then going from there or whatever, however you're gonna end up doing it. I think that in the long run, it's gonna be able to pay for like little projects or servers or hosting sites, and like you're gonna be able to use that to pay for little things.
Yeah, it's kind of like a case of like, well, you know, when we accumulate funds, you know, what we decide to do with it. I mean, I know you were saying, Dan, about divvying it up, but it might be a case of like, you know, if we've got like 3,000 or something, we can just put that into a documentary, or we can put that into the Minds game that we're creating. Or it's a case of what we all decide. We can all kind of have a meeting, decide, well, do we want to reinvest that and do something with it, or are we going to pay ourselves some kind of fee for something? But it might be a case of like, for the first year, a couple of years, we just reinvest it into things. If
Yeah,
we can manage to do that.
I don't see me getting paid for anything. Like, I don't want money. I do this for fun.
But I mean, it'd be nice to think that in the future, we're doing what we love and we can just pay our bills. You know, I don't think any of us have ever been like wanting to be rich or famous or anything like that. It's more to do with the fact that we want to do
yeah,
what we
but
love. We just want to be able to put food on the table.
I think that
You know what I mean? That's it.
there's a slight difference between doing like something like this and things that we normally do, and then maybe the bigger ideas that we have, like to actually make a Minds game, may require a little bit more time and work, and then like those things that we invest in, and then that we will need a little bit more resources to kind of do, and like just
Yeah.
I think doing what we do, then based off of that, then we build on top of that, you know, because that's the whole point of like the vapor test, like me doing that thing and then seeing how like how much you get, how many tokens do you get for a good like video, and then, you know, can that grow, and then like just look at it like that, and as that grows, and then you can build on top of that
Yeah.
bigger and more produce things if you want to. That's only if you want to. Some of us want to do more interesting things, and which will require some time and effort, and I think this helps us to have more realistic freedom and space to do that in a sense, like, you know, and like what Mindsgaming was saying, like, you know, later to do certain things that will help the overall like projects, whether it's like, you know, a server or even people having certain software and hardware so that we could have good audio and visuals and stuff like that, so that we could, you know, produce good stuff, and keep on doing it easier and better.
Even if it's like a decent mic, you know, if you're doing, you know, we get people on board who are going to do like voiceover actresses and things like that for the game and other things. You know, they might need decent equipment for that, you know, mics, decent microphones and stuff like that. Just little things that are going to make the whole thing a lot better quality.
Yeah. I mean, or even like well, I mean, most of the software that I use for my creative stuff is all open source, but I know there's some paid software that, you know, people recommend that we might be able to help out with online too with that. But yeah, I mean, the whole, like, I think that putting into these pools is important. You know what I mean? Like getting liquidity into the Minds pool. If you want to start actually seeing rewards, doing that process is important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a case of it to me, that the perfect life is that you do something that you absolutely love doing. And the best thing would be that you could just pay your bills, that you could cover your bills, whatever they are. You don't necessarily want any excess amount of money to have an excessive lifestyle, you know, because obviously that's the big thing, isn't it, with creators and artists? The big problem is that people often go so far and then they can't continue with it because they end up having to get a job to pay the bills, so they can't focus on the things that they want to do. You know, I think that is that's what we all kind of aspire to want to do is be able to be creative, and be able to cover the basic things that we need to cover. That's it, really. You know,
Yeah,
if we
yeah,
can do that,
no,
that's perfect.
I
And
get what
then,
you're saying, but I mean, at the same time, I don't see like currently, like with the platform, the size that it is, I don't see it paying for your rent and electricity.
Yeah, yeah.
no, no,
There's
To
also
like,
a lot of competition in the pool right now. I just checked like 10 minutes ago. There's already $2 million in there. Holy crap.
Holy shit.
wow,
yeah,
Move that in there.
yeah.
big ballers, man. That's the one thing. Like,
You know, at the end of the day, if it
love
happened by accident, is not something we're all going to say, no, we don't want that. You know, if it was something that happened by accident, that's great, you know, but I just think it'd be great if we could make enough money to invest into some of these projects, some of these things that we, or some of these visions that we want to see come to life. If we can make enough, if we can generate, I don't know if that's the right word, generate enough to invest into those projects, that would be like something amazing in itself.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah,
that on
yeah.
its
I
own.
mean, that's what I said. I mean, like just the thought of if you can get enough liquidity to pay for a server monthly, like a monthly
Yeah,
server,
that'd
then
be
you're up and
amazing.
running. Yeah, like then you have, a cloud your own that doesn't have a limit because like the one we use has a limit right now because it's free. So like it has a limit on memory and disk space and all that kind of stuff. But like
Yeah.
so it's a little slower. But like if we can just make that amount just to get a server going, then we'll be golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, pretty-
Oh yeah, man. Like once we're on our own like space, and there's so much more we can do in that. Like, it's great. But yeah, right now I it's not that I don't like glitch. I do love glitch because like it definitely, especially if you're like you're trying to learn coding or you're new to coding or you just want a little personal website for yourself to advertise. Glitch is definitely a great site for that. So and it's full stack, so you get a bit of everything. So it's not that I don't like them. It's just it'd be nice to have our own full stack server that doesn't have so many limitations put on it.
I was thinking as well, like with the official Minds game, you know, as that develops, that maybe in the future it could become something a bit like, I don't mean like the look of Minecraft. I'm thinking more of people having the ability to build things, or to, when they're part of the game, they can actually create worlds, or they can create antidotes to poisonous trolls or something that they're fighting, or you know, there could be some element where they could create something within the game rather than just
Well,
participate being a
well,
player.
no, maybe it's something different because Minds Gaming actually tell Meg what you've been playing around with is there's VR space where you could build stuff in there, right? You could build up
Oh,
your
really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like you definitely have to check it out. Like the whole we've been playing with hubs. I don't know if you've heard of those, but so it's a little project by Mozilla that I've been playing with. So we put it on the Imaginarium, and you can put stuff. You can walk around in the rooms. You can put stuff in the rooms. You can. I don't know how interactions work with it yet, but we'll figure that out. So, um, but yeah, you can do a whole bunch of different things. You can change the scenery. You can do all kinds of things. I'll send you the link to it real quick.
Oh, yeah, that sounds brilliant. I've been thinking about it all day, thinking that would be really great for anybody to go into that game. So they don't have to be like an expert or anything. There's just, you know, that function there where they can contribute, they can build stuff, they can create stuff within the game.
Yeah, 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 definitely. I mean, I don't know how much you can like. What it seems once you change the scenery, that you can't go back to the old room right now. So I'm trying to figure that out. But yeah, you can definitely add stuff and it will save it and all that kind of, no matter like where you're at and all that.
That sounds really cool. I like the idea of something like that, and of course that's just an optional thing. You know, that could just be a part of the game. There can be people that will just they'll just be happy playing the game. They don't want to necessarily contribute anything or create anything. There could be different areas you can get. It might be a case of like, as you play the game, just, you know, in the normal fashion, you have to get to a level which unlocks some of these features. So there'll be like, you know, that's kind of like the incentive during the gameplay, is that you complete so many levels, or you complete a certain level, and then it unlocks some of these features where you can actually start to be you can start to participate in creating a new world or a new level or something like that.
Well, that's kind of like what is it? Mario Party, where there's like different little things, and then like different types of games within the game.
Yeah. It could be something really simplistic. It doesn't even have to be that.
Did we come up with a name for the game yet?
No. Michael was supposed to be here, and like he has his own glitch. Have you seen it, Mindsgaming?
Yeah. I did see his glitch actually. Yeah, he sent me a link. He was like, "Oh, check this out." I was like, "Oh, awesome!"
Yeah, it's cool. And he's been messing around with Blender, but I think there's not a really name for it yet. I think, well, I didn't think he's gonna be this late, but you know, I was wondering what the character name would be.
Yeah, what, the little shaman character.
Yeah,
the little mushroom shaman character. We've got to think of a name for him.
Yeah.
But I kind of know why to come up with the name if I don't know if he has the idea. It's like he was the first one to come up with it, and he has a whole website. So I don't know like how far he went down his rabbit hole. I'm waiting on him to kind of get into that.
Man, definitely. Because once you're on there building your own stuff with those websites, like you go down this rabbit hole that you might never come out of. I still haven't come out of it, so
yeah. But yeah, I mean he's been pretty good with Blender. He's been using that.
Oh yeah, man. Blender. Well, that's the one thing that I also liked about these the site is that inside of it you can create your own scenes. Like, well, we got to go check this out together, man. We got to get on there together and talk. See if we can talk on there. Like, really, we do. Like, because there's so much you can do on there. Because if we're on there, we're coming up with these ideas in our heads as we go along. It will help the process if we're actually in there together. We can all experiment together and try and because there's
out.
nothing at this point like with that little program. You're doing the same things that I'm doing. Like you're just it's just a drag and drop. There's no like hard coding in it. So
I just think it's amazing to think that we could get this game, that we can actually produce this game at some point. It's going to be a real thing. I'm sure it will. And the inception.
I mean, it's gonna be a long road. Even with this, like the hubs, we still got to figure out a couple things, and we got to get a bigger memory space to put it onto and stuff. So you know, we can. We got to edit out a lot of stuff and stuff like that. But like, it's gonna be a long road. But in the long run, I don't see why we couldn't make a good game for this. Like it should be possible.
It's kind of like, you know, it's one of those things that we can just keep building on, and it's like, it's a bit like when I do a piece of artwork, it's like knowing when to stop. I can imagine that like 3 years in we're going to be going, no, we need to do this. It's not ready yet. We need this extra thing, because as we go along we're going to discover more things that we can do. So we're never, you know, we're probably going to never really get to that point of thinking, yeah, it's perfect, it's finished. You know, that's
Oh no,
that's always
there's
the
no
thing, isn't it?
way
It's
that we'll
creating.
ever be at the point of saying this is done. This is all we're making. Like
That's
I
probably
don't think
why
we're
we'll
gonna go.
release one game and then we'll release others. You know, there'll be others. It won't just be one
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
It's just going to be an ongoing thing. It's going to be what we do.
yeah.
We'll just do it till we die.
We gotta get the first one out first, and then we'll go from there.
But I can imagine
man.
that once the first one's done, you know, that won't be enough. We'll have to do more after that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Uh,
Actually, Corey, did you ever see that one where we were talking about the Minds game? That are you still there?
Yo, I'm still here. What's up? So,
No.
you mean the VR space?
No. This is the Minds, the video game concept that my friend Michael Studios 18 came up with. He said he wrote out a sketch of it in 2016. But then, like later, when we were talking, like a couple weeks ago, we came up with more of a storyline, and basically, like the intro to the game is basically aliens force feed monkeys mushrooms so they can talk to them, and then so basically you start fighting bad ideas with good ideas, and you throw light bulbs, and like you throw them as like little bulbs that like shock Mindsgaming, you came up with like a little intro. If so, what is it? In a world full of trolls, bad advice, and fake news, you would take control of a mysterious ancient shaman with mystical counterculture powers in a winner takes all battle of imagination and knowledge.
yeah,
So
man.
cool.
I thought that was good, man.
Yeah, it was.
I love that. It's just the perfect idea, really. It just reflects everything that's going on in our world at the moment. So I can't, you know, people are bound to connect with it on, you know, people from all different walks of life, different belief systems, they're going to connect with it on some level, because when you think about the initial idea that your friend Sudos had, it relates to so many different people and different scenarios in their lives, so they're just going to relate to it, even if it's on an unconscious level. You know, they're going to connect with it in some way. That's the beauty of it, I think.
Yeah.
Why it'll be really popular.
Yeah,
Okay, you know, Corey, what was an early game? I guess what was it? Sonic or Mario? I kind of already think I know since Corey. Early games that you played when you were younger.
Oh, yeah. The first game I played was the initial Mario. Like, I was like 5 years old, and all I knew was the jump button at the beginning, and I would like be in front of the screen just watching him jump.
Yeah. Or the one block that never broke, so you just sat there and jumped up and down. You got that down. Because you could walk forward.
God, like the first game I ever played, I was really young, I think it was Atari. It was that Pong game. My
Oh
parents they had Pong, because I'm a bit older than you guys, because I was born in 1976, and I think I was about 4 or 5, and I can remember it clearly. I remember sitting there watching. I'm the youngest. I've got 2 older sisters, and my eldest sister and my dad were playing it. And they'd hooked it up, they connected it to the TV, and I remember thinking it was amazing, just the most amazing thing. And I kept sort of trying to get in on the act, and they were like, no, stop distracting us. I was just like this annoying little kid trying to like play the game, and they wouldn't let me. Eventually I think I got to go on it, but yeah, that was the first game. That was my first introduction to any form of gaming. in my young life.
Yeah.
I think I was about 4 or 5 watching them
Yeah,
play it. They were
Pong
obsessed
was
with it.
fun. I played Pong. My dad, I guess one of them had a Atari, but anyways, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
like
Pong
really
is.
old,
Yeah,
isn't it? Old school.
everybody's played a version of Pong at one point or another.
Yeah, I think we had like the original, the proper version, not versions that they created later on. I think it was the real deal. I remember it was like kind of a grey screen on the TV. We had this big
Mhm.
TV with like loads of not like knobs on it. It was like had a wooden panels on it. That's how old TV was. It was like the sort of TVs you see in Colombo or somewhat like in a
Yeah.
1970s TV program in people's houses. And it was like a grey screen with sort of like, it was like a bright mint green, you know, the graphics on it with the ball going backwards and forwards. It was like green from memory. I might have that totally wrong, but I
Yeah.
just remember thinking it was really cool how I kind of as a young kid thought it was magic that he kind of connected it to our TV and then they were suddenly playing this game. I remember thinking, oh my God, that's just like amazing. How's that going on? How are they doing that? But yeah, really cool. I'd love to have like an original Atari,
Interesting.
old school console now. I don't know where you'd get one from, and if you could get one, it would probably cost a fortune. If it was like in
Yeah,
really
it
good
probably
working
would
order, you'd probably
actually.
pay
Yeah.
loads of money for it, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, like
Probably easy.
a original one that's still in good condition. Yeah.
That's what I mean, original, perfect condition.
Okay, here's another kind of game question. I'll start with Corey. Like arcade game. Like what would like if you could like if money wasn't an object, like what arcade game would you get? And, like have it.
Oh man, it's been so long, but I do remember back in the day, you guys probably all played the Simpsons game where you could each be a different character. That was
Oh
loads of fun.
yeah.
Who was your
The
I've
character?
never played
four
that.
people, like all 4 of us could play it. Like it'd be dope.
My
Yes.
cousin had that played. They had that. I remember watching them play. I've got my cousins. They were really into their gaming, and they were quite wealthy. They were wealthier than us, so they always used to get like the latest consoles as soon as they came out. And I remember we went to stay with them like on a family visit, and I remember sitting and watching them play that. But I've never actually played it myself. But yeah, we should try and set something like that up and have
Yeah,
like an interactive
those
game of
games too
that.
were my favorite. I like the X-Men one, the X-Men four player arcade one. It's very similar to that one. What about you, Mindsgaming? What would you get? What arcade game would you get?
Oh, is he there?
I don't know. Oh, I think his connection went.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Are you there, Mindsgaming? Yeah, he's going in and out.
Yeah.
What about you, Meg? Did you play any arcades?
Probably Pac-Man was one that I really liked, and then later on you could get like the little console. My mum bought me that, and we went on this holiday to Holland, and my sister had Frogger, and I had Pac-Man, which I thought was great. And my sister was really annoyed because she wanted the Pac-Man. She was really disappointed with Frogger, so we just used to swap. Because I ended up preferring Frogger in the end, but I like both of them.
Mindsgaming. What about you? What arcade game would you get?
I'd have to get a pinball, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I used to love going to the arcade and playing some pinball.
Okay, so like what pinball? I remember I used to play like Adam's Family. I'm trying to think of some other ones I used to play. There's some crazy ones sometimes. So yeah.
Well, the one at my local arcade was called Space Invaders 3.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, so I played that nonstop. It was 2 down from the second mission, so it
Oh, I
was a
love
hard
Tekken.
play.
I was obsessed with Tekken at one point. It was quite a cool game. There was another game that was I think it was the PlayStation. Oh God, I can't remember it. It was like a fighting game, but they were more like mythical creatures, and I can't remember. There was a character that I used to play called Cervantes. He had all these knives and stuff, and I
Soul
always used to win
Calibur.
with him.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
just saying, I'm pretty sure she's thinking of Soul Calibur.
Yes, that's it. I think that's it. And yes, Cervantes was the character that I always used to choose, and I used to beat everybody with him. They were like, "You're not playing that character again because you just beat everybody with it." I couldn't. Oh,
Nice.
I thought I locked out there. Hang on. No, I'm still here. It's all right.
Yeah. Whenever anybody tells you you're not allowed to play with somebody, that means you're only allowed to play with that character from now on.
Yeah, they're like, you're not. My sister's like, you're not choosing that one again. Pick a different character. You're not beating me again with that character.
It's like, oh,
It
you're
was
not
like a
allowed to. You're
glitch
not
in the
allowed to pick
system or
Scorpio.
something. I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
picked Scorpio. Damn it.
Yeah, I played that game so much at one point that I actually dreamt it. I used to go to sleep and dream that I was in the game. That's how kind of programmed my brain became from playing it so much.
Corey, did you put any
Been there.
liquidity in mines yet?
Yeah, no, I put it, yeah, back in the day and stuff, I put a bit in, but now like my tiny amount is well overshadowed. But yeah, yeah, back in the day, like when Uniswap was early, I was like, wow, like we got to add liquidity to this. So I was one of the people that added early.
You added it before it got here. You're cheating like I am. But does it connect in your wallet for you though?
Yeah, it does. I forgot there was something. I think you have to like make it recognize it somehow. There might be some step you're missing if you don't see it, and sometimes it takes a second to load. Like it's kind of weird a little bit.
Okay. I'll have to look into it further because I know I did it a long time ago when I first went to Uniswap, but it doesn't show. And I figured just because it was on it's new and they just put it in.
Oh, wait. You did it before, right?
Yeah.
You're probably one of the people that's in the V1 pool. Because I did notice there's a tiny little bit left in like the version 1.
Might be right. Yeah.
You got to migrate it over. There should be, it takes a second for it to recognize, but it should be fine. Just do it on a low gas day because it'll be like, it'll be a transaction to do that.
Yeah. All right, cool. Sweet. Thanks, man. See, even I learned stuff here, guys.
Yeah.
I need to learn all this stuff. I'm behind. I need to become an expert on all this Uniswap stuff. I've got no clue how to do any of it.
You'll get there. You just gotta, get that MetaMask running, and it'll be good to go after a little bit.
Yeah.
I hate that they stopped recommending MetaMask. It made me upset with that. MetaMask is just so easy to use with Uniswap. So. They recommend Coinbase now. What do you think of that, Corey?
Wait a second. What did you say they recommend?
They were recommending Coinbase for a while. I don't know what they're recommending now for.
Interesting. The thing about Coinbase is, I don't think they have like individual, like, where you have your own keys type of solutions. Like, Coinbase is usually you're storing it in their wallets and, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I said. That's why I was confused when they started, and I never stopped recommending MetaMask because I was just like, whatever
Yeah.
you do, I'm
Yeah.
gonna recommend MetaMask because it works well with your system. So
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's
The
for
only tricky
me.
part is,
No, I was just gonna say for me, it works seamless with Uniswap. Like, yeah, and
the only reason I could see why like MetaMask might not be recommended maybe for some people is because it puts a lot of responsibility on you. Like, you got to make sure that while you're like logged on, you don't get your computer hacked or something. You don't,
yeah,
accidentally
for your
send stuff to the
keys.
wrong, Ethereum's pretty final when things go around. So you got to, make sure you're on top of stuff.
yeah. If you lose your key or your passphrase or any of that shit, you're pretty screwed. But I mean, still, it's I think most people aren't going to have that much of an issue and understand how to save stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, most of the time people will just like kind of figure it out and be like, okay, I got to be careful.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you use a password save, like a password saver, like a log or an app for that, or how do you save your passwords like that?
Oh, usually, yeah, I kind of go with like password managers and stuff, not browser ones, but like kind of independent open source ones are good and stuff like that. It's yeah, I think it's just better because sometimes, like with the really important stuff, you kind of write them down and stuff like that too. It's good to like, address all, depending on the security level, you need different methods.
Yeah. I'm very old school. I still write them down in a notebook, and then keep that notebook locked up. So I'm very old school with that. But I like open source password managers are definitely one thing that, as long as they're open source. Which ones do you use for the open source managers?
I like um the one that like seems to be the best performing right now are the variations of KeepPass. Like, that started as a Windows project, I guess, but people had brought it to Mac and Linux, and those ones are nice.
Okay, they're user friendly, easy to use. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You playing any games these days? Any video games?
Oh man, it's a vice. Like I really got to stay away from them because you get sucked into these worlds. I think the
Yeah,
last time, like
that's what I'm
the
like.
last time I got, oh, what was that?
I was just saying, I relate to what you're saying. I have to stay away from the gaming because I get
Yeah.
completely obsessed, and I just don't do anything else. Once I get sucked in, that's it. Nobody sees me for dust. Then that's it. I'm just gaming
Hmm.
24/7.
And it starts off innocently enough, like, it's a curiosity. Oh, they're making this now. Oh, let me try that real quick. And then before you know it, it's like, holy shit, like the whole day's gone by. I gotta stop.
So what was the last game that did that for you, Corey?
Hollow Knight. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
No.
Yeah, I have.
It's interesting. It's a really creative, like artistically, like kind of
Absolutely.
Metroid Castlevania type of thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, that sounds brilliant.
Yeah. So with all this, my kid's grandfather bought him a gaming system without telling us for no reason. So it's gonna be here tomorrow.
So we won't see you for about a year then. Once you get on that.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
We won't
I
be able to get hold of you for a while.
didn't even know what system it is yet because I asked him. He was like, "Oh yeah, there's a package coming for you tomorrow. Make sure to get it." And I was like,
Oh
"Oh."
wow.
I was like, "What is it?" Oh, I got Mason a gaming system, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Whatever." I was like, "What gaming system is?" He was like, "Oh, tomorrow." All right. It's just
Oh,
So we'll
God.
see. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah, you can get totally obsessed, you know. I mean, my big obsession was Sonic when I was sort of a teenager, and my friends used to come round to my house. It was always at my house. We'd do it, and we'd just get wasted, and we'd spend all day and all night playing Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, when it was like the in thing, when it first came out, sort of in the 90s. That was
Yeah,
the thing.
Nice.
We
yeah.
just used to.
What systems do you usually play on, Corey?
So back in, yeah, when I really played, it was probably like Nintendo 64 would be probably the highlight. Maybe Super Nintendo a little bit before. How about you?
Well, I play on the PC mostly. Right now, I have a PlayStation, I have an Xbox, but the PlayStation isn't working for some reason. I haven't figured that out. And then the Xbox I set up, I think last month sometime. So I've been playing on that a little here and there, but mostly I play on the PC. So.
Nice.
Do
Yeah,
you
anything I do now would be at PC. What was that?
prefer the Xbox or the PlayStation generally overall? You know,
What
having
was that?
played, I've never played the Xbox. I've never had an Xbox. I've only ever had PlayStation, and obviously years ago I had the Sega Mega Drive, and then I bought my kids. Both my kids have got into Sonic, not because of me, because I was into it. They just came across it naturally, and they played it online. And then I bought them like an old school. It's not an actual retro console, but they recreated the retro console, and you could just buy it with all the games already like loaded into it, all the Sega games and the old school Sonic games. And I bought them that for Christmas, so we spent all Christmas Day playing that, which is kind of cool. But I've never had an Xbox. I've always been into PlayStation, and I've always wanted to try out the Xbox. I've never got round to purchasing one. I just wondered what you preferred out of the PlayStation and the Xbox.
Oh,
Nintendo.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
My
Yeah, I
my
don't get
youngest
into them.
daughter's got a Nintendo Switch. That's quite cool. I
Yeah,
played
the
that a
the
few
new
times.
Nintendo Switch is nice, man. I like it a lot. And with the whole, I don't, I don't like the whole console wars things, right? Because here's the deal. If you go in and you play, if you've never played a game before on either console, it's all a matter of going in and just playing the same game on both consoles and seeing which one you liked playing more.
Yeah, I can't compare between the Xbox and the PlayStation because, to be fair, I've never played the Xbox. Like we had a Wii, my daughter had a Nintendo Wii. Well, I wasn't really into that. I couldn't get into it. I didn't
I,
like that.
I played on the PlayStation most of my younger life, so like, and then I
Yeah,
got
so
Xbox, later, and then so like it was just weird because like now I'm playing on the Xbox again, and like I won't play Tekken on the Xbox because of the controller difference.
because you just use the
But
PlayStation
like
controller
shooter, first
kind of
person
thing.
shooters, like they're so much more
Yeah,
comfortable to play. So like I don't know.
I love the PlayStation controllers. I just think they're great, especially for the fighting games.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, for like Tekken and the fighting games, definitely. But like first person shooters, I feel like the controller fits a little better with the Xbox. So I don't know. I play on my PC, so it doesn't matter. uh, what about you, Satori D? What do you play on?
I haven't. Wait. Okay. The last game
Last
counts.
system you were on that you played a game, yeah.
The last, it was like I haven't had really a system since like Nintendo Wii. I stopped like keeping up with gaming since like that era. But I played some games like strategy games on my computer and
Oh yeah,
different
yeah,
things like
yeah,
that.
yeah. It's a
Oh yeah, but like,
strategy.
I like
You like chess?
you know what old game that I was playing recently that I liked, and I forgot what we were playing it off of, what emulator. I think it was like Sega or something, but it was called Vapor Trails. You remember that one?
No.
It's basically you're in a jet, and then you're like fighting everybody. So like you get like 2 players, and then you keep on getting upgrades on like your shooting ability. Anyways, it's a fun game. One of those. Yeah.
Flying shooting simulator. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No,
It's like Contra, but you're a jet.
yeah. What's your favorite strategy game though? Like you like Stratego or chess, or like what's your strategy game?
Well, I guess when I was playing, I would actually play Risk, but then
Yes.
also too.
Oh, Risk.
So
Yeah,
Risk,
buddy.
Risk was
We
fun.
all need to get together and play some Risk one day.
Yeah.
Like, just
Okay.
yeah.
Tell me
I've
about
never
your
played
risk
it.
game. Which countries would you start with?
I've never played
Australia. I'm starting with Australia. Facts.
Oh man, we would be going to war. Australia's mine.
We'll see.
That's funny.
Yeah, we need to get together and connect up a game, and we need to all play each other. It's got to be done at some point.
Yeah.
We've got to choose which one we're going to do.
Yeah, and I guess this is something that we could wrap things up, because I kind of need to get going in a little bit. But I want to like circle this back around. I think something that will be interesting, and something that me and Mindsgaming were talking when we were on Joshua TV with Censorship Sucks. But like Minds having a streaming, being able to stream on Minds, and then we could like hook up for like we'll have like a set game night that like people can rotate in and out, and then like what I mean, like we all kind of like get together and maybe have some fun of
man, that'd be awesome.
do some stuff like that.
To be able to just sit there and stream a game with everybody.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
So have that game night, then we'll have like, maybe I don't know how we'll do it, but if we had that, it would be like the first Friday of the month is like Risk game night. Everyone wants to play like Risk. We're gonna play that night, and then like
we could do that, and we could turn it into a show. It's like one of the mashups, because we'll be talking.
We're gonna have after we play a couple games, it's gonna be generational like beefs with each other. Between like Corey and Mindsgaming over the rightful era of Australia.
We'll have different legions to come after each other.
we also have to have like a retro game night where we play really old school games together as well from different eras.
Yeah, we already have Mario. So that's
do that. Retro gaming.
Yeah. We got Mario, so we can do that, and maybe we can get some Sonic somehow. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about trying to make some Sonic.
They've got to be retro games that are good on an interactive level, rather than a solo level. Like certain games, you play on your own.
We could all play on our own web browser and just see how far each other's gets. The first one to die drinks. We're all adults.
Yeah, we'll do it, definitely.
Well, for like some of those, we'll just have like a scoreboard, like like trying to. It'll be like when you go to like an old school arcade and then you see whoever has the top score and then you just
Yeah.
keep on trying to
Making a game inside games is the best part of gaming.
Yeah.
Those little inside bets and games while you're playing, they're the most fun.
All right, we're gonna
We've
stake
got-
some Minds tokens on this.
Oh yeah. The first
Yeah,
risk
yeah, he wins.
you better
We'll
have
just-
some
if you, like,
tokens
put it in the
at the
pot.
ready.
And whoever wins just gets all the tokens. Yeah, that's cool. But you do
We'll
realise
probably all put them right back
we
in the
won't do any of
project.
our. We won't. We'll just get so into doing the gaming, the interactive gaming, that we won't like get any further with our projects. We'll just get completely distracted playing the games.
Nobody will complain.
No, we won't.
Oh man, yeah, but yeah, we definitely you guys definitely have to check out the hubs link that I sent you.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, you can walk around in the different areas. You can search scenes. You can put your own pictures up, all kinds of stuff. So definitely check.
Cool.
Yeah. But I think that's a good part to wrap it up there.
Yeah.
I know everybody's
Yeah.
probably got to get going, so it was nice talking with you guys.
Yeah,
but
thanks for
definitely
everyone for coming.
Yeah,
And then
we'll
we gotta set up something to play around in that room. Maybe I don't know. We'll talk about it like maybe it's Sunday or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sunday could work. That sounds good.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I mean, I'm available tomorrow and all weekend, so we gotta set something up so we can talk in the room.
Talk in the room and see how it works in the VR space.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Right. Take it easy, guys.